Gen X, the generation that prides itself on its misfit and rebellious persona, learns how to navigate themselves and family life during the COVID crisis. Welcome to Gen Z Deep Dive. I'm your host, Aaron Brown, and this is Season 2, Episode 6. Allison Scotch over at Glamour recounts her experience dealing with the stress of COVID. First on the list of stressors for Gen Xers is caring for their silent generation parents. Like millennials, Gen Xers share the frustration of their elderly parents not taking the virus seriously. Yet, on the flip side, Gen Xer children, who are Gen Z, think they are immortal to COVID. Allison points out Gen Xers' slacker persona, but points to a world where Gen X has to do some heavy lifting to care for so many people. She also shares stories of her daughters. One daughter who's on the tennis team, who Zooms with her friends and they swap workout techniques with each other via Zoom. And she tells the story of another daughter who comes into her office and asks to bake an apple pie, to which Allison Scotch panics, believing apples are in short supply. Her daughter's response? A good old-fashioned eye roll that only a teenage girl can give you. Scotch also attributes a lack of empathy to the Gen X generation. But due to the COVID crisis, she essentially says she's actually a little more sappy now, calling mom and dad every day instead of once a week, twice a week, reaching out to friends, letting them know that she cares about them. But she described Gen X as an emotionally uninvested generation. Laura DeMarco echoes this Gen X persona, but believes a generation raised on grunge music like The Cure are uniquely suited to deal with the coronavirus. Specifically, Laura echoes Allison's point that Gen X is more emotionally detached. Dana Aridinovich believes the irresponsibility of boomers and Gen Z means Gen X has to be the voice of reason during the crisis. But the voice of reason has gone unnoticed. Many Gen Xers were relieved when restaurants closed because then their elderly parents didn't have anywhere to go to socialize with friends. Quote, Gen X has always done whatever it takes to get through the day, said Holly Broshvitz. We don't fuss, we just carry on. End quote. What's the moral of the story? Gen X actually embraces the disadvantaged persona. Gen X has lived through a lot that many people, they don't think that they can deal with in today's situation. Not only did Gen X go through high divorce rates dramatically in the 1970s, Gen X grew up with the fall of the Berlin Wall, the Challenger explosion, the AIDS and crack epidemics of the 1980s. Quote, as a Gen Xer, latchkey kid and only child raised by a divorced mom, I feel as though I can power through dang near anything at this point, end quote. At the Institute for Generational Dynamics, Gen X falls into a category we call the reactive cavaliers. Typically, the generation perceives that they are unloved, unnurtured, overlooked, and rebellious against the man as soon as we figure out who the man is. But one enduring quality of Gen X is that they always pull through. They are dutiful to societal expectations. And as America calls on citizens to do their part to flatten the corona curve, Gen X is the most likely to step up to the plate to do their part. Ultimately, too, Gen X will make this another notch in the belt of hard times they have had to endure. And they will, dutifully. Thank you so much for joining us today. Look forward to catching you in the future.